Hey guys, how's it going? It's Zitanios here. Welcome to episode number 25 of this NHL 22 Minnesota Wild franchise mode. If you guys have missed episodes up to this point, head up into that top corner. And if you do enjoy this episode, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit notifications to never miss these uploads. So, again, if you missed last episode, it was called Stealing Draft Studs, and we were all about our draft picks and landing some crazy good players like Jermaine McGinn, as well as multiple other players. If we look here at unsigned players like Moran, McGinn's already up to a 71. Like, he's going to be great. The Russian glitch is gone, so Kvasha is signable, so maybe we'll end up picking him up. He looks like a fantastic young defenseman, 20 years old, and has a lot of upside. Mario Cote grew a little bit, maybe not. He might have just been a 66 when we drafted him. But Kruger, Scrimes, we've got a decent amount of unsigned young players here that are going to hopefully get injected into the system over the next season or two, or maybe three, and we'll see how that fares. But we have some comments from last episode, considering that it got blown out of the water with views. It just caught the YouTube algorithm right, and we got like 1900 views as of this recording, but we have some comments here. So, first off, Artem Chubarov, I don't know how you say it exactly, but said, how are your draft pools so highly rated? Also, how are you making trades so easy? I always get shit offers. So, starting off, our draft pools have been so high because we're playing on a high draft class quality, so that really helps, as well as if you're struggling with trades, lower the trade difficulty to easy. I play on medium usually, and that I find to be fine. Like, I make good deals usually. And the other comment here came from Nate Briskly saying, how do you get two high franchise players? Well, starting off, Foligno was high franchise to start with when we drafted him first overall, so not really a surprise there that he's a high franchise, but Matvei Michkov was a medium franchise when we drafted him first, and he has developed into a high franchise player just based on the fact that we've won 2 cups. He's been like 100 plus points a year kind of guy. He's well over a point per game, and his last 70-60 season there, that 130 point year, was just amazing. So that's how that's kind of happened. Obviously, we have some other really good players like Rossi, Kaprizov, Boldy, and so on around these guys, which is really helping out with the development of these players. And, well, this year we're going to get into it as far as trying to go for a three-peat. We've got a great team on our hands. Hopefully we're not riddled with too many injuries. And we had another couple comments here. So, Leafs Addict on the radio said, maybe give Gaspard Lapierre an X Factor. He's a solid prospect, probably should deserve a zone ability, but I would give it half a season or so to prove it. And I totally agree with that, because we're not going to be going for him just yet, or going to upgrade him just yet, considering that Lapierre is just 81 rated at 20 years old, but he had 5 points in preseason. Again, he scored 118 points in his third year of junior, and by the looks of it, he is mainly a puck skills and shooting kind of player. So those would be the X factors we'd potentially be looking to give him. Again, I think he's going to be a fantastic player for this Wild franchise over the next couple of years. And I think adding X factors to him would really solidify his spot in this team. Obviously, other guys that we've drafted like Guy Bonnet have really developed just because they have X factors and they're playing alongside some top players. But, as Kaprizov starts to age, he's 31 already, so he is going to start declining eventually. As has Marcus Foligno down to an 82, but he's still our captain. He's still the guy that we've been going to lift the cup, as well as just lead this team in general. Maybe not so much in scoring, but more so from a leadership standpoint. So with all of that in the bank, all of that in mind, I think we're ready to go. Declan Kilkelly said, let's go Wild. And that was pretty much it for comments. But again, thank you guys for blowing this last video out of the water, and let's get to episode 25 here. So, starting things off, let's see how the draft class looks. Knutson, we don't know how good he's going to be yet. Looks like we got a two-way forward here in Penyai, and not too much else yet. I've got lots of scouts in the process and going here for scouting, but at the moment, not too much to really show for it yet. And again, we're not going to be trying to make like huge trades or anything with this team. We're just going to try to keep landing draft steals throughout the drafts here and really build this Wild team around the core that we have already. Obviously, we did make trades up in the past to land a couple good players, but at the moment, I'm not seeing anything yet that's really like a must get or must trade for kind of player yet. So again, we'll see as we develop this draft class a bit further and see what else is available. But let's get into another season sim here because this Minnesota team, again, go back and check out last episode if you missed it, but this Minnesota team is just loaded. They are so stacked. They are so deep. And really, there shouldn't really be any denial that this team has a chance to three-peat. I do want Wallstead to get the majority of the starts over Lindbergh, even though we're paying Lindbergh at like $5 million for a backup. But at the current moment, this team has 100 offense, 100 defense, and 83 goaltending, so there really isn't much doubt in my mind that these guys should be able to produce something special. Hopefully Lapierre can get his skating up, because apart from that, he's a really good overall kind of sniper. But we'll see what happens as we develop these players a bit further. So without any further ado, we're going to get into the first couple months of the season simulation. I don't expect this team to struggle, but knowing my luck, just based on how these kind of calendar sims have gone so far, we might not be as hot as I'm thinking. But we start off 2-0, 3-0. That's a really good start. I want to see... We don't have any other real scouting reports in the top end of this draft yet, so we'll wait and see. But 4-0, 5-0, 6-0, 7. Wow, this team is dominant to start off. We go 8-1-0 to start off the season. We give up 9 goals to Anaheim somehow. So, I kind of want to go and see just what is this Anaheim team looking like. Oh, Matvei, Michkov, 11 goals in 9 games as well is insane. But interesting. We lost to this team. Hey, okay. That's a little bit sad, but that's okay. We'll definitely lose our share of games with this team that we probably shouldn't. I'm sure Rafalski just absolutely stole that game, especially being a 5th-round pick for a goalie. But good start. Somehow we lose. We break that undefeated streak of 8 games, but let's get through another month here, head into December, and again, starting off strong, win 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then we lose 1. But 5-1-0 to start off here. The next month, 5-2, 6-2-0. Okay, yeah, this team is they're just insane. Like, there's no other way to put it. They have the most outstanding depth in the league. I don't doubt that for a second. And not only that, but we've got other guys like Johnson, Kervinen, Howie Bulin. Like, there are names coming up this system too that are going to make the league eventually and replace other players. Like, even Seth Jenner should be doing better than he is, which is unfortunate. But like, we got Nicholas Lawrence coming in here eventually. He should be in the league within a year or so. And DePenta, where did I have him playing? He must have been on like the second line or something. Maybe not. I don't know exactly where we had him, to be honest. But I like how that team's playing, so I'm just going to leave him. So we lose to Vancouver there too, but so far this team has been ultra consistent as far as we'll lose 1 game. Ooh, Jagger Foligno goes out with a concussion. That's unfortunate. Okay, so I guess Connor Dewar is going to get some big line minutes here. And yeah, we'll sub him into all lines for now, just until we get Foligno back. But we're just dominating the league. 24-0 to start off. We've got 40 points. The next closest team has got 34 in Detroit there. Minnesota's on a roll right now. So, jeez. Wow. Yeah, just wow. 43 points in 24 games. Matvei Michkov is almost 2 points per game, and he's got 28 goals in those 24 contests. Foligno, again, well over a point per game, but so are Kaprizov and Boldy. Those guys are doing great. Bonnet, unfortunately, isn't off to as hot a start as I had hoped, but Lapierre is. He's got 15 points in 24 games for a first-year player. I'm really impressed with that. Trey Weller's got a decent amount of points, but what's his name here? Par Eriksson is actually 19 points in 24 games as a defenseman on this team that is super top-heavy with forwards. Unfortunately, Wallstead drops to a medium starter, but we were kind of expecting that. But at the same time, at 26, he is already got 123 wins in just 185 games, so we're going to hold on to him for sure, especially as his contract is really not all that expensive. Speaking of contracts, 2 months into the season here, we should probably be eyeing up our expiring contracts because we do have a couple of them coming up. So Lecavalier is one of these guys that we are going to have to pay. We got $9 million about. I just want to see who else is actually expiring here. Looks like Shaw doesn't want to play probably, but Foligno is going to be nice and cheap. We'll pay him that 1.6 for another year. Krajicek probably isn't worth the $4.5 million that he's requesting, but that's okay. And 4.8 for Wallstead is a bit of a hefty price for a goalie, but at the same time, we have Lindbergh signed for 2 seasons, so he still has value and trade value, which is good. Because $4.5 million, even at the rule of 85, $4.5 million contract is still $3.825 million. And yes, it's for 2 years, but again, we really are tight on money with this team. I do expect Wallstead to sign that, but at the same time, him and Lecavalier, actually Lecavalier is a much cheaper contract than I was originally expecting. So if we get Lecavalier at 2.805, so 2.825 for the next 2 years, that's like, again, a really good contract. We're going to wait on Krajicek, see if he can start producing a little bit better, but he has actually been fairly consistent. He's been a 30-point guy on the 3rd and 4th line for this team for years. So let's see if he can continue that, because he probably would be worth signing. But heading through December now, because we go to the end of December to get more scouting done and stuff like that. Let's see how it goes. So we lose Kurvinen in the AHL. Looks like Marcus Foligno signs, Lecavalier signs, and okay, Wallstead doesn't want to sign anymore. That kind of sucks. Okay. So we'll probably offer him something else here in a minute, but that was just, that was too bad. So let's put Foligno back into the lineup here. Again, he's been just amazing. And let's just stop up the simulation here and see if we can get Wallstead back on the right terms here. So it says he doesn't want an extension, but I highly doubt that. Okay, maybe not. Maybe we will be waiting to sign him. So we'll see how he does. He's actually been fantastic, but hopefully that botched contract offer isn't too much of an issue for him. So, all right, let's keep on going here. We got some scouting to look at. We still don't know. I guess Knutsen's in the Ice League, so we're probably not going to get a scouting report on him anytime soon. But knowing my luck, he'll be a franchise like two-way forward or sniper or something like that we just don't even get to know exists, which, very well might be the case, but I kind of find that kind of funny too, that, players hardly ever end up in the Ice League, and the fact that the number 1 pick is in there is quite funny. So, what's his name here? Sjödström actually looks like a fairly decent player. A couple of 1-year ETA kind of guys like Mayer here. He's nothing crazy, but we'll keep an eye on some of these guys. You never know who's really going to be that good until you actually get a full scouting report on them. But Viitanen looks like a good player for sure. He's probably in our range too. Ooh. Or Brendan Carlson. How do you do, buddy? We'll keep an eye on him for sure too. Again, NHL ready players right around that 30 to 35 range. He might be 1 year out, but if he's got born leader as well as a bunch of defensive abilities, that's the kind of guy we want. So, Scavello and Reed for Uyghur, we don't need that trade. This team is just lighting it up. So, all right, let's get Kurvinen back in here. I need him playing at 20 years old. He's actually not doing too bad, but come on, Abby Boulin. Why are you under a point per game? You shouldn't be. You're a very skilled player, so. Oh, well. Guess you can't win them all, but All right, rolling on here. We haven't actually lost yet. There it is, of course. I literally jinxed it. Oh, and we lose Part Eriksson too. Okay, but overall, this team is just steamrolling the league. We lose a couple in a row. I think that was the first time we actually lost kind of back-to-back games, even though one of them was in additional time. Yeah, this team is just on a roll right now, and lots of guys are playing fantastically well right now. So no complaints with how the team's been. Wallsted's won 19 out of 27. We've also got 11 out of 16 from Lindbergh. So again, just cannot say anything negative about this team. They have been absolutely rolling here, and Michkov is like at a point or at a goal per game. Never mind point per game pace. He might actually. He's got 60 in 39. Rossi's got 58 in 39, and Foligno's got 53 in 38. So these guys are all, kind of in their infancy still, really, of being Minnesota players, but like 518 points in your first 450 games is pretty outstanding, even from a first overall pick. And, it's going to be hard for Kaprizov and Boldy not to continue producing, especially with the line chemistry they've got. 315 goals for Boldy. Is that the team lead? It is, I think. Actually, it might not be anymore. No, it's not. Michkov has surpassed Boldy now for goal scoring just because he is such an absolute machine when it comes to putting pucks in the net. Rossi is easily going to surpass Michkov in no time as far as team assist lead goes. But we lose, let's see. What did we lose? We lost 2 in overtime and 3 in regulation. So apart from that, we won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games. We went 9-5 in that month. So that wasn't actually a great month, but we are still head and shoulders above the league. So I'm going to get some more scouting done. I'm really impressed with where the team is at right now. And it's more so just a matter of getting some of these scouting reports in and hopefully finding some really, really solid draft picks here. Okay, we are back after scouting now, and we're ready to continue on. I think we'll go right up until March. We'll do the trade deadline, do the end of March. Oh, and we lose to the Oilers and Golden Knights before finally getting a win there. So that was a rough start to the month, and we are 2-3 to start off the month. All right, boys, don't tank it now, all right? Okay, win 3 in a row, 4. Not bad, not bad. I do have Knutson getting scouted, and look at that, he's just a medium sniper. But he has all the X factors, so I would assume that's why. That's why he's ranked to go number 1. Apart from that, don't have too many full bar scouts here yet. Like, a lot of these guys are still in development as far as scouting goes. I do have a good feeling about Kari Viitanen, but we've also had really poor luck up to this point with Finnish players. So not too much really going on yet with the scouting. We'll see as we advance a little bit further, but may get 5 wins, and we lose Matthew Boldy to a separated shoulder. That's rough. So that's unfortunate, and we lose 3-2 there to Calgary. And then we do beat Seattle, so not terrible. Starting off the next month, okay, we do get Matthew Boldy back. That is good to see. Looks like Guy Bonnet's really taken on his role here. He's 37 points. Not bad. I mean, he's definitely pushing a better season than last year. But again, he didn't really get to play all that much last year. So hopefully we'll see some more improvements there. Gaspard Lapierre's got 31 in 54, so he's doing really well, to be honest. He is definitely a sniper, but I think he's got some puck skills and deking and stuff like that too that are really helping him achieve the stat line that he's got. 82 points for Rossi. Oh my goodness. 51 and 54. Michkov is insane. Okay. Yeah, this team is just, they're just rolling. That's the only way I can put it. They are rolling. So I really like how we're looking. I mean, honestly, out of this whole defensive core, I think Carson Lambos might be the guy to go, which is unfortunate because we are going to be crunched for cap, but the other contracts are really good. And that's the thing, is that because of these other contracts, we're going to be able to put together a team that is still good regardless. So Wolsted's got 25 out of 36. 16 out of 22 for Lindbergh is not bad. I don't know if Wolsted really deserves X Factors or not this year, which is interesting. How about 49 and 54 for Javi Bulin? He's doing great as well. So hopefully we'll see him actually develop. But we're still rolling here. Looking good. Start off the month with 3 wins in a row. Make it 4 in a close OT win. Beat Colorado again. Beat Vancouver again. This team is rolling. All right. And we lose Par Eriksson yet again with a straight neck. But we only lose 1 game in the entire month of February. I know it's a short month, but we literally go on a 2, 4, 6, 8 game, 9 game winning streak. Make it 9 with Seattle. So that was a really good month. We're sitting at 47 points. Oh my gosh, Jagger Foligno's leading the team now. He's just even with his assists and goals, 93 points there. But we've got 96 points as a team, and it is a runaway here right now. 47, 12, and 2. Next closest team's the Oilers with 83 points. And yeah, the Oilers are good, but man, I wonder if McDavid's still out in front as far as league lead goes for scoring. I mean, Michkov and Foligno are both right there. They're tied pretty much with each other because this top line's just on a whole nother level. But I like where we're at. I like how the team's performing. Our goalies are, again, just doing fantastic. Wallstead's on a roll. And how does the entire league look up to this point? Draisaitl, 97. Where does that come from? 97 points. That's insane. And he's played 1 less game, too, than Michkov. The goal scoring, I don't think is really that close. I think Michkov is definitely, he's out in front. How about Reginald Mures? Hey, he's looking really good. Thomas Bordeleau, 40 goals. Bunch of created players, go figure. Stefan Priesing, though, missed out on him big time because he's got 52 points. He's looking really good. Your best assist guy, without a doubt, is Marco Rossi. Your best plus-minus guy is Jagger Foligno. So, I don't know. I think Foligno very well could win MVP this year. I don't know if that's really even a question when he's leading this team as well as Michkov is, if not better. But we're going to get through this last month of March before I do one more kind of scout and then we wrap up the regular season sim. But at the moment, doesn't really seem like anybody's actually standing in our way. So let's get simulating through here. We lose Jody Bruce to a mild concussion, but we should be getting Eriksson back pretty soon too. We're going to keep our status. We did lose to Vancouver. I just want to see what's available in the trade deadline here. I don't think we're going to really be going for anything. Jack Hughes is available. Hey, that's a big name player. How about Shea Theodore as well? Again, we don't need any of these players, but Tampa wants a top prospect, top defenseman prospect. Jeez, they want a lot for an 88 rated Joel Eriksson-Ek. Apart from that, again, players that we don't really need. Carter Hart is insane. Capitals make a trade. Andrew Kopp to Anaheim for Lemieux in a second. That's it. Ooh, that's kind of rough. Although Carter Hart probably would be a pretty fantastic acquisition, there's just no need for it. He hasn't won with Winnipeg, which is too bad because Winnipeg's really good. Mario Cote hasn't really grown, but he's producing decently well. Actually, no, he's below average. He should be doing better. So that's unfortunate, but I think his hockey sense is terrible. I didn't even realize that until now. That's too bad because he should be better. Jermaine McGinn. Oh, Jermaine McGinn is the steal, isn't he? He is absolutely the steal. He's got good skating along with everything else. So that's a player right there. McGinn is my favorite for probably making the team over the next year or two here. Johnson looks really good. Moran's okay. Holy Chen, this guy, Troy Chen, took an absolute leap as well. We drafted him in 2027, so last year, I believe, and he's up to a 77 rating now. That's extremely impressive, and he is a puck skills defenseman, so that's why. But he has skyrocketed as well. Apart from that, no other really, really big name kind of growths here or anything like that. I do get the feeling Marcus Foligno might be in the final year of his career. But I don't know. Overall, the team's looking really good. Pitkanen has not developed the way I wanted him to, unfortunately. And we do hold Arizona's first round pick this year, which is that's an interesting one. But anyways, we're not making any trades. We're literally the top team in the league. So I was just kind of stopping up to see who's getting traded, what's going on with the league, and really how we're sitting in comparison to all of it. And without a doubt, we're on top. So Bouchard gets traded to Tampa with Evangelista for Ehlers. Interesting. Hints for, hey, Ryan Duffy's one of our players from the Islanders there. And a second. All right. Against Vegas. Up next, Vegas Golden Knights. We beat them. Good. But we lose to Edmonton 5-2. Edmonton is the only team that I am looking at like, okay, they could give us problems out of anybody. Because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, last year, did we go to 7? Yeah, we did go. They're the only team that took us to 7. We beat everybody else in 6 or less. So, all right. Montreal beats us. Okay, that's a little bit concerning. But, overall, this draft class is very forward heavy. Doesn't look like too many other players and prospects and guys like that are going to be over the top kind of great or are going to be steals. But, at the moment, I'm very happy with where this team is at, what the draft class is looking like too. Like, I'm really happy with that. And Michel Lebeau looks like a really good defenseman potentially. All right, so we beat Pittsburgh there. We beat Dallas. We're crushing the league. We have 56 wins, all simulated. Wow, 58, 16, and 2. Heading into the final stretch of the season. We've got 2, 4, 5 games left. We could be chasing history here again. I mean, this team did have 132 a couple years ago when we won our cup for the first time. But the Oilers are almost within reach. We would have to lose every game for the rest of the season, and they'd have to win everyone, but man, Marco Rossi, 113 points up to this point. Michkov, 112, Foligno, 112. 260 goal scorers, I think kind of just sums up how dominant this team is. They are on the same line, but yeah, just wow. I'm just in amazement at how solid this team is. I've never seen a team put together such complete numbers. 36 wins for Wallsted's really good. 22 for Lindbergh, though, is just as good. So, all right. I got to do my kind of final scout here before we really get anything else done, and then we'll go from there. All right, so we get into the final couple games here of this season to see where this team ends up, and let's go at it. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that this Minnesota team is the best in the league. We lose Weller with a bruised arm out of all injuries. A bit of a strange one there, and we lose to to Nashville, so that kind of sucks. But Par Ericsson's back. He should probably be playing I was going to say right in place of Weller, but that's not the case. So let's instead get Hunt in because he's healthy, and that should be fine. All right, we beat Dallas there. We lose to Anaheim, and then we win our last 2 against Chicago and Winnipeg. So 126 points, not quite as good as our 132 a couple seasons ago, but I'm okay with that. We still finish head and shoulders above the rest of the league. Edmonton is the only team there even close in that 110-plus point range. Jagger Foligno scores 68 goals and 123 points to lead the team. So Michkov did not do better than Foligno, which I find extremely interesting. But you have to hand it to the Minnesota players here again. They just dominated. So 62, 18, and 2 for what is 126? Yeah, 126 points. And it's Minnesota's league, even if Edmonton, we're not done yet. I actually did the thing where, you don't advance the one extra day and get all the rest of the league stats in, but oh well, it happens sometimes. I would say Trey Weller's definitely a reason for this team's success when you're a plus 60 as well as have 34 points as a defensive defenseman, coupled with the fact that he is just a physical presence, blocks, hits, like everything. He just dominates physically. 233 pounds. That's wow, that is a freaking monster pairing there. But this team is big regardless. We know that they can, really throw the body and do stuff like that. Even if, our top line is a bit smaller, I have no doubt that this team is going to do well in the playoffs. So, as a kind of reward, I'm going to say 34 goals in a rookie season for a guy like Gaspard Lapierre is a fantastic start. 51 points. Great start to his career. So, I think he's definitely going to deserve a zone ability as well as, I want to say, 2 superstar abilities. And I think those are mainly going to be in puck skills. So, like passing and deking, something along those lines, as well as like his zone ability should be a shooting ability just based on the amount of shots he takes and things like that. Like 233 shots is pretty impressive. So, all right, I think we don't have all the games in yet. How much longer do the games go? Okay, there we go. So, we are ready to go here. 123 for Foligno, just outweighs Rossi, and Michkov actually drops off a little bit based on what I was expecting from him. I was expecting him to lead the team, but, Rossi was just feeding Foligno more this year. I guess that's how you put it. But yeah, this team is in a really good spot. I'm actually worried for the rest of the league because I don't know if anybody else is really going to be able to catch up to the sheer pace and ability of this team. But let's see if the Oilers are in that conversation too, and they are. Draisaitl, 126. We yet again, a Minnesota player is robbed of the scoring title. But Foligno and Michkov are going to tie, which is very, very nice to see. And your plus-minus leader is Foligno, without a doubt. Most penalty minutes, Gordon Prosser, 18-year-old player, which is actually quite funny. Who took the most shots? Thomas Bordeleau took the most shots. Stefan Gabrick also lots of shots for a defenseman. But again, those are created players, right? So, or not all of them. I guess Gabrick isn't. But who had the most hits in the league? Cody Glass, 204. That's actually up there. I was expecting a defenseman for some reason. Most blocks, Dylan Collin. Did we have any guys in there? Not really. Bobby Walters is a great defenseman, though. Most fights in the league. Prosser had 26 fights. My goodness. Takeaways, McKinnon. Go figure. Nathan Gaucher, actually. All right, so this team's set to go. The numbers are in. The team is as good as it's probably ever going to be. And we will be playing Chicago first round. So this is the Blackhawks team that we're going to go up against. Should be an interesting series, but at the same time, they don't have nearly as much firepower up front as we do. I mean, Verhaeghe's actually looking pretty good, but they are going to need a lot more scoring power if they're going to beat this team. Their defense might actually have the capability to shut us down. Especially with a franchise #1 defenseman there in Gabrick, but they're actually a pretty good team. I gotta hand it to them. They're not the deepest, but they made the playoffs, and they stand a shot against us, I would say. So that's where we're gonna leave it for this one. Let me know which comments which X factors a guy like what's his name? Lapierre deserves. I think he absolutely deserves shooting and puck skill, zone abilities, and X factors, but let me know in the comments. I want to hear what you guys have to say, and we'll do that pretty much next episode when we start off this series, or this playoffs, but the team's in a great spot. I'm really excited to see if we can try to three-peat with this team because they're so stacked, And that's going to be it for this one. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to go down below, drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hit the notification bell to never miss these uploads. And of course, let me know your thoughts, opinions, and all that good stuff in the comments below. But that is going to be it for me. Hope you enjoyed. This is Etanio signing out, and until next time.